views expressed on this program are those of the hosts, guests, and callers, and are not necessarily those of this station, its management, or other advertisers. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.
You are listening to Living Lighter Radio. I'm Jason.
And I'm Patricia, with an ecosystem approach to your life. Tune in every Monday at 1 p.m. Pacific on Transformation Talk Radio.
Living Lighter provides a revolutionary way to address what's truly holding you back. We have the tools you need to reach your goals and at the same time be living lighter.
Join us now for a Living Lighter experience. This is Living Lighter Radio, and I'm Patricia. I'm here with my husband, Jason. Today, we're talking about our lives, meaning us, myself and Jason, and how we got started and how we live day to day. We use an ecosystem approach to you, which is much different than what you are commonly taught. We see human beings as ecosystems that need to be uncovered instead of programmed. Human potential becomes infinite with our ecosystem approach. Okay, Jason, how did you get started?
Well, I had been talking about this stuff with my boss. I used to work for a art college in downtown San Francisco. We both did, actually. And we started talking about these things. And she told me that she had gone to see a clairvoyant on a regular basis. The next time she went, she asked me if I wanted to go along. So I had my first reading, for example, and I remember she used tarot cards as part of the reading, and she pulled up the High Priestess, which is, for those of you who may not know that, it's basically the psychic card. It's the one that says your intuition's developing. And this spoke to me, and she talked about how my intuition was exploding, and that it was gonna be much, when if I would go back and see her in a year or 6 months, things would be totally different for me. So, I went back and saw her a couple times, and frankly, she said a lot of things that never happened. And we now know that, you can't predict the future. We don't predict the future.
But she did help you understand that you had intuitive abilities.
Yes. And that was of help. And I kept going from there. That's when I started.
Okay.
So Patricia, tell us your story about the little boy when you were a child.
Okay. Well, I'm going to start with, I was born with my intuitive abilities. I've always been able to, as the movie says, I've always been able to see dead people or spirits or entities. I've always been able to do that. But here's the best way to explain it. A woman and a daughter came to the house one afternoon. I was about 5 or 6 years old. And
what'd you see?
Well, I saw the mother and the daughter, yes. But there was this little boy that kept bothering the girl, the daughter. And, something bothered me about it. And so I basically... I said to my mother, I tapped her on the hip. I was that small. I tapped her on the hip and I said, Mom, why is that little boy bothering her? Make him stop. And my mother ignored me to start. And then I did it again. And she bent down and she said to me, kind of like eye to eye to me, she said, Patty, you need to stop right now. You need to, no one can see what you and I see. We'll talk about this later. So later on that night, she told me that what I saw, others could not see. And I kind of said, well, you saw it. And she said, I did, because you and I have the same abilities, but then she also basically said, don't tell anybody that you see these things.
She made it shameful.
She totally made it shameful. And so from then on, I saw things. I still do, by the way, but I didn't talk about it. I didn't engage in it with other people. So
you kept it under wraps.
I really, really, really did. And on one hand, it did save me probably from that being institutionalized, but also the shame. I had to deal with the shame. And by the way, one of the ways I dealt with the shame is by using the ecosystem approach. So, it was very, very interesting. So, Jason, tell the audience about our early years.
Well, when I started, I came up with a structure to work with clients, and we didn't have. I didn't have a teacher who showed me the ropes. Mm-hmm. I didn't rely on a teacher. I just knew what I had to do. I used my intuition, and I just did it. I learned bits and pieces here and there, and there were other teachers, experts, clairvoyants that I went to or listened to or connected with or read about. But there was always these huge gaps, and I always had this feeling that didn't feel right to me. Okay. There was one time that I went to this guy he'd done a couple seminars, and I went to him personally, and I was struggling with being waffling at work. I would make a decision. I was in a management position. I couldn't kind of be really solid about it. And he worked on me energetically and said, "You're good." But I wasn't. And I could see now, I didn't see then, but I knew it wasn't right, that he didn't really truly understand the problem. His intuition wasn't going very, very well. And what was happening is I was switching between intuition and programming. And he wasn't evolved enough to really be of help to me in that moment. And we learned, the point is that we learned in a very natural, organic way. We didn't learn from someone else who told us how we should think. We actually did all of this from scratch on our own, using our own intuition. And that's how we work today.
Well, okay. So I have a story about that. And it's the story of when I first met you.
Okay.
Which to me is very interesting. Now, the little boy story was great, but this is very interesting. When I met Jason, he was the management of this department, and I spent a lot of the company's money because I did purchasing, and I was really struggling with my own physical health. There was lots of reasons, and we don't need to get into that right now. But so he and I had made an appointment, and he had done this reading on me, so to speak, or that's what we called it at the time, and he did that, and then we were supposed to meet. I called him and said, we're gonna meet today, and he was out. He was out of the office that day. So, but he basically left me a note, so to speak, and said, "I will clear you in absentia." And I thought, what? Okay, fine, whatever. I'm not afraid of those kind of things. So, okay. So,
this is part of the structure that I'd come up with.
Yes, yeah,
so I used it.
Yes, which was, amazing. And so with that said, that night was the first time I had slept through the night without any pain. And I mean, all the way through the night, not, until 2:00 or 3:00, all the way through the night. And when I woke up, I had actually overslept, which is something I rarely ever did then or even do today. And so I was like, oh my gosh. And I got out of bed. I hurried along. I actually got to work on time. But as I was riding BART, that's Bay Area Rapid Transit, as I was riding BART, I realized I wasn't in any pain. And I was kind of like, oh my gosh. Well, Jason kind of said that he was going to do this thing, but would that make a difference? I mean, it was such a change, but I had been in such a hurry. So anyway, so I got to the office. First thing I did was I dialed his extension and I said, "We got to talk. Did you do that clearing thing on me?" And he said, "I did." I said, "We got to talk, and we got to talk now." And the bottom line is that my life changed. When I came out of the BART station, colors were brighter. Life was a completely different perspective for me. And I was in awe of everything that was happening.
The amazing point is, and this is the point that we want to make, that when we started, working with our intuition, Patricia had it all her life. I've I've had it fairly recently, but we always wanted to say, okay, so we have this. What are we going to do with it? We want to make it practical for people.
Right.
We want to help people have their life better.
Right.
And we weren't seeing that happening in this realm.
Mm-hmm.
People that had the ability to see, clairvoyants, psychics, mediums, were they really helping people? And was always our intent.
Right. And by the way, even as a child, I know one of my strongest knowings, not memories, but knowings, is that I was going to do something amazing to help the world.
So people are always comparing us. Who's got better intuition, blah, blah, blah. So, but they're both different. So, yes. Patricia, tell them about your type of intuition.
Okay. My intuition is I see things in detail. I see things personally about somebody. I even help people with memories.
Tell us about the story of the red shoes.
The red shoes. We were working with a group of people, and I kept seeing these red shoes every time I would look at this woman. And what I found was I finally said to her, excuse me, I have to ask you, do you have a thing about red shoes? And she goes, oh my gosh, I love red shoes. And one of her friends happened to be in the group as well. And she said, tell Patricia how many pair of red shoes you have in your closet right now. She had 11 pair of red shoes.
And it's a great story. And the woman loved it because it confirmed for her. People always try and test us. They want to see it. Well, can they really see blah, blah, blah. And stuff like that really confirms it. But frankly, I struggle with that. My intuition's different. It's global, big picture.
Right.
I'm not interested in the personal stuff because if you have 8 pairs of red shoes in your closet, it doesn't help you grow and develop. It may confirm that we have that ability, but it doesn't help you grow and develop.
Exactly.
And I always try and focus on what can help a person in the moment. But we both have specialties that we gravitate toward.
Yeah.
And we do that when we work together and that sort of thing. It's so that's the difference between our intuition. The main point is that as we learned how to do this, as we developed this process, it was always about how can we make it better for people? How can we make their lives better? And it's not about reading. It's really about energy. What we do is we see what's in their way, and then we have a process to help them get rid of it.
Well, and I just want to bring this up before we close this segment, Jason. I always like it when we work together. We've worked together for clients and called it an intensive. And it's what usually though is it's usually so intensive for the person that we're doing the intensive for. People like it when we have power, or they think we have power.
In a programming world, more power is better, and that's not necessarily true in this world at all. It's and you can only have so much change in a moment.
Right. Okay, Jason. So, what are the key points of this segment?
We always wanted to use our intuitive ability to help people evolve in a big way. We didn't learn from teachers. It was all our intuition and learning to use and follow intuition. That my intuition is global, big picture.
Okay.
Patricia's intuition is specific and detailed and communicative. Intuition has great potential for solving problems in the 21st century. And we want to teach others how to develop theirs and develop it for the world.
I love it. Stay tuned. When we come back, we're going to talk about pet peeves and funny stories. This is Living Lighter with Jason and Patricia, with an ecosystem approach to your life. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.
And we're good.
Thank you, dear.
This is Debbie Pokornik with a break-free parenting tip. Parenting will always be a bit of a mystery. Who knows why some parenting ideas work and others do not? or why some kids seem to succeed despite family setbacks, while others have so much given to them and yet fail to thrive. The one thing we do know is that once you have a child, you'll never be quite the same again. Awe-inspiring emotions like overwhelming love, extreme guilt, intense frustration, and incredible joy make this job second to none. Breaking free of parenting pressures means recognizing the pieces that make us unique, the pieces that we carry with us from the past, and the pieces that are influenced by the society we live in. When we can pick and choose which pieces we want to keep around and change the others to align with our inner wisdom, we will feel more self-assured in our role as a parent.
For information and to work with Debbie, visit empoweringnrg.com.
Tune in to the Astral Insider, your portal for adventure, insight, and growth with Fernando Albert. And get ready to tour the astral realm, expand your life in ways you've never imagined, and call in for the journey of your life with this world-renowned lucid dreamer, astral projectionist, psychic medium, and healer, Fernando Albert. This is every second and fourth Monday at 9 a.m. Pacific on TransformationTalkRadio.com.
If you have a sense that you are meant for more, join Heather Allison every third Tuesday at noon Pacific as she explores an ancient, forgotten energy within us and helps us access our original archetypal blueprint. The Golden Path will help you remember the key to unlocking your life, love, success, and magic you were meant for. A key to unlocking your golden path. Visit heather-allison.com.
Are you ready to create a life you'll really love? Then you'll want to tune in to the hit show Life Design Radio, From Adversity to Awesome with Susan DiLorenzo. Live each month on TransformationTalkRadio.com. No matter where you are in your adversity story, Life Design Radio has got you covered. Get ready to feel inspired, enlightened, and motivated. For more information about working with Susan, visit SusanDiLorenzo.com.
This is Living Lighter Radio with Jason, and I'm Patricia. We're talking about our pet peeves and some funny stories. We use an ecosystem approach to you, which is much different than what you are commonly taught. We see human beings as ecosystems that need to be uncovered instead of programmed. Human potential becomes infinite with our ecosystem approach. You know, Jason, I know we have a lot of funny stories. Can you give us one?
The one that really tickled me, and this was quite a while ago, but is when I met one of my clients' teenage sons. And, you know, you understand that we work with people over the phone most of the time, and they talk about us, et cetera, et cetera. This was a time when we had a cluster of people in a certain geographic location. So we went there to visit, you know, to meet with them and do a little seminar and that sort of thing. And I met this woman's son, and she'd been talking about me and referring to me a lot. But this boy looked at me and he was shocked. He was shocked because he expected a beard, earring, and a robe.
Wait a minute. Can you say not Jason is one of the straightest looking guys ever?
I was wearing a polo shirt and jeans or something. You know, it just was, he was so disappointed, you know. You know, and that reminds me of when we went to the New Age Expo. You know, we had a booth, and in our segment it was for psychics and clairvoyants and, you know, mediums.
Yes, and tarot readings.
And they dressed up like, you know, like gypsies, and, you know, and they were making strange sounds. But tell us about the, you know,
Well, there were people that would come up to us and say, what you have looks really, really good, but I already spent all my money on the best in show. And both Jason and I went, what do you mean the best in show? Well, there was this guy who claimed to be the best in show. And
he named his booth that.
Yeah.
Note to self,
yes.
You know, if they say it's the best in show, maybe it's not.
Yes, exactly. Okay. So,
and that's one of my biggest pet peeves is that in this arena, you know, it's more about marketing,
right,
than it is about actual abilities.
Well, okay. Yeah. So, but Jason, you have one more great story. And I got to tell you, I really like this story because how many people, when you say something like you have psychic abilities or, intuitive abilities, so with that said, Jason, take it away.
I met with this woman, she came to me for quote unquote a reading. We don't ever
Really
frame it that way. Yeah,
right.
We don't call it that. But I know I nailed it. I know it. But I saw, and then
because you use your intuition.
Yes, and okay. I know she was pretty straightforward. But I asked her, how she was feeling about all this information, and she said, "Well, I wanted, I wasn't wowed," and I saw, and this confirmed a lot of things that I knew already. But she wasn't there to grow and develop. She was there to be entertained. And really, that's not our purpose in this world at all. It's not our purpose to entertain people. And we hope that it's fun, and we hope that it's it's easy, and we enjoy ourselves. But it's not about entertainment. It's about growing and developing.
Well, and I admit that Jason and I together were kind of a dynamic type couple type thing because we do use our intuition and everywhere we go. But to be wowed, I mean, really? I don't know. That go to the circus or something to that effect, in my opinion. But I have a story. Here's one of my big ones. Those who have negative energy, who really don't want to grow, they just want attention and they want to take my energy. Well, my energy is pretty darn clean. So, and I'm just going to give you one of the biggest ones. I had this client years ago whom I would say, I see that you're angry or you're hurt or whatever about this, that, or the other thing. And he would do nothing but argue with me. And then be mad at me.
Is a hint.
Yes,
a hint for taking energy. Yeah.
Exactly. And then demand that I give him extra time because he wasn't getting his money's worth. And, it was exhausting for me because at the end of it, and it took me a little while to realize how much this guy was taking.
We found people that at the almost like 5 minutes before the session is supposed to end, then they have
the big questions
or the meltdown, or they don't get it.
Yes,
and,
exactly. And that's a pet peeve, by the way.
Sometimes, and it's sometimes it actually happens organically, but there are a lot of times that it's just a way to get more attention.
Yeah, exactly. And it's
more
really,
energy. Yeah.
And it's really hard, to deal with.
One of the things that people don't understand is when we say we're clearing our essence, what we're doing is refining the energy. And as we refine that energy, it becomes attractive.
Yes, very much.
And people gravitate toward us for reasons they aren't even conscious for them, but they do. And so does negative energy because it wants to
latch on.
Yes.
Well, it wants to latch on and hold on and keep people, keep souls from, or people's essence from, being who they are or what they came here to do. So, but I have another question for you, Jason. Tell me about the Enneagram expert that we, actually we worked with her at a company.
Yeah,
a large company.
We were working with a large company, and they put together a group of people, and we had one set of a certain expertise. Well, she was there as an Enneagram expert, and we use the Enneagram as a tool, and it's a big deal for us. But we're not experts in the Enneagram. We don't study the Enneagram, but we know the Enneagram, and we interpret it really well because of our essence, because of our intuition.
Right.
But she told us what her Enneagram type was, and we were shocked. Because it was wrong. Here she is. She's, and so we should say, most people determine the Enneagram type by taking a test.
Right. But there's a test in all the books, is what he's saying.
And you can gain that test. You can manipulate that test. And especially if you don't see yourself very clearly, which is the whole purpose of the Enneagram in the first place.
Well, and I have to say, most people don't want to be their type that they truly authentically are.
Yes.
They want to be something else.
Yes.
And I have to admit, I did that one myself. So,
but we knew because we type people intuitively that her type was wrong and it was way off. So, another story is about, I had worked with this psychologist who he
had great credentials,
PhD, blah blah blah. But she would every session she would come and basically bitch at me, and it was really negative energy. And Patricia, often I would be working with her. She didn't know who was on my schedule, but she would come down and mouth to me, "Who is that?" Because she could feel the negative energy.
It was horrible.
And this psychologist, her defense was, well, you're supposed to do this. This was her frame.
It's your job to take care of me,
or take care of that, or to be a receptor of that negative energy.
Exactly.
She didn't want to really get rid of it. She just wanted to express it.
Mm-hmm.
And
exactly.
that doesn't work. And we know now that expressing your negative energy doesn't clear your negative energy.
Exactly.
It's
in other words, having
that,
to talk about it.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
So,
exactly.
and we know that negative energy, we've become experts in negative energy. It hides, it distracts, it says one thing on one hand, but it's something here on another. And we often think negative energy is like Lucy and Charlie Brown. If you remember, Lucy would always say, "Come on, Charlie Brown, kick the football," and she'd hold the football. And the minute he came up to kick it, she would pull it away, and he would fall on his butt. And it's happened every single time. And she'd go back to him and say, "Oh, Charlie Brown, I won't do it again."
Yeah,
that's classic negative energy. That's how negative energy works.
Exactly. All right. So, Jason, you have one more.
This is one of my biggest pet peeves.
Okay.
I read this book, Remote Viewing, and it was interesting to me because it was a guy who was in the Army, and he worked in a lot of places that I was familiar with. So I
gravitated towards.
Yes. But his intuition was developed because he was hit in the helmet. He has his helmet on by a machine gun shell, which was, it would create a concussion. It just really threw him for a loop. But afterwards, he started to have visions. He started to have his intuition exploded,
so to speak.
And they reassigned him to this special unit for remote viewing. And it was a special unit in the Army for a short time. They've closed it down since, but they used it for strategic purposes to go and look at the enemy through intuition. It was kind of exciting. It was fascinating to me.
Yeah.
Here's the problem. When your intuition is developed that way, which is not natural, not organic to who you are, it creates. And what happened to this guy? He had these psychotic blackouts. He would go for days when he didn't remember where he was, and he would show up on the lawn. He lost his wife. He'd show up on the lawn in the middle of the night, screaming and yelling. He lost his wife. They got divorced. He couldn't hold the job. He was a mess.
Exactly.
That's not how you're supposed to have intuition. We help people, and we've done this for ourselves.
Right.
We help people grow and develop, evolve at the level of their essence in a way that's natural, organic to the way you're designed. And when that happens, you become more mature, you become more thoughtful, you become more wise, and you're able to deal with life in a much better way than you can in any other way. A lot of people use drugs sometimes to open themselves up.
Right.
And it's the same thing about drugs. It's not a natural way to do it.
Right.
So should we talk about key points?
Well, Jason, what are the key points of this segment?
We're experts in negative energy and how it works. It's from our experience. We've learned it. We've learned it by observing it through our intuition.
Okay.
We need to evolve and mature in our essence to be able to use our intuition and interpret what we get from our intuition.
Okay.
An evolved essence helps with the interpretation of information, especially regarding our tools, which is the Enneagram and astrology.
Mm-hmm.
Developing raw intuition is not enough. You have to be balanced and mature from the ecosystem approach.
Love it. Stay tuned. When we come back, we're going to talk about our vision for the future and how we're going to use our abilities going forward to help ourselves and others. This is Living Lighter with Jason and Patricia, with an ecosystem approach to your life, for your life. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.
What is a brilliant culture, and how do we create them? Why are they important? Claudette Rowley has created a breakthrough 5-step process to help you align your culture with your business strategy for exceptional results. Looking for a culture that drives organizational excellence? Listen to Cultural Brilliance Radio, the second and fourth Friday of each month at 10 a.m. Pacific and 1 p.m. Eastern on Transformation Talk Radio. To learn more or work with Claudette, visit culturalbrilliance.com.
Disease, one of the most dreaded words in our vocabulary. Hi, I'm Mary Jane Mack. Did you know traditionally we have viewed disease as a degenerative process? Disease is better understood when we view it as dis-ease in the human body. Dis-ease means without ease. Health is not merely the absence of disease, it's when every part of the body works together effortlessly, relaxed and at ease. It's that relaxed state that lets energy flow in waves through and around the entire body. Every organ has an electrical charge, and when overcharged or undercharged, dis-ease occurs. And it is an effort to go through our day. We are able to determine the exact dis-ease of the body and design a specific solution to correct the nutritional imbalance. Contact us at 888-777-4232. That's 888-777-4232. And visit us at maryjanemack.com.
It's time to get your life back on Burn Bright Today with Jennifer Marcinelli. Tune in each month on TransformationTalkRadio.com. Learn to move from the darkness of burning out to the light of burning bright. Jennifer is redefining stress and the energetic causes of burnout, shining a light on process to get your life back. For more information about Jennifer and her work, visit burnbrighttoday.com.
Darcy Pariso is your connection to spirit, energy, and healing. You can meet Darcy in person at upcoming events throughout Seattle. Do you have questions about your animal companions, yourself, or do you desire to communicate with loved ones on the other side? Darcy will connect you and get answers. Darcy can also work with energy healing to help you and your animal companions feel more balanced and recharged. Visit darcypariso.com/events.
This is Living Lighter Radio with Jason, and I'm Patricia. We're talking about our vision for the future and how we're going to use our abilities to go forward. We use an ecosystem approach to you, which is much different than what you are commonly taught. We see human beings as ecosystems that need to be uncovered instead of programmed. Human potential becomes infinite with our ecosystem approach. All right, Jason, we've talked about how clearing develops intuition. Yes. So what are we going to use our intuition for our clients in the future?
Well, yes, both of us are naturally intuitive, but using the ecosystem approach develops intuition.
Well, I'm going to jump in and say everybody has intuition.
Yes.
By the way, it's
natural.
It is. We're given.
We're given that. We're supposed to have it. We're supposed to use it. Mm-hmm. Most of us don't.
It's been programmed out.
It's been programmed out.
Was that your punchline, by the way?
I like to. Yeah, it's not very funny, but it's a good punchline.
Okay, go ahead.
You know, we're trying to help people find the most effective ways to learn at the level of essence, and you do that with your intuition. Your intuition is a tool. Mm-hmm. You know, we actually have 6 senses, not 5,
right?
And that intuition has been in the back of the bus. You know, and here's the big statement. All the problems in the world can be traced back to our essence being blocked, impaired, or dysfunctional.
Okay. Say it again, Jason. That's really important.
All the problems in the world can be traced back to our essence being blocked, impaired, or dysfunctional. And it's the same for individuals. All your problems can be traced back to your essence being blocked. Mm-hmm. So when we uncover your essence, you become your own guru. Ooh. You don't need us to be the guru. You don't need to go find a guru to help you with this stuff. You become your own guru. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of what we're trying to say in the first segment, is that we didn't use another guru to help us be a guru. We helped our we used our intuition to help us be a guru for ourselves.
Right.
And we're not going to be your guru. We're going to help you learn so that you can do it on your own.
Love it.
We don't want you to rely on false leaders and fake heroes. There's plenty of them out there right now.
You mean, I can't resist. The best in show?
Yeah.
I couldn't resist.
Yeah, exactly.
I apologize. Okay. And if you're the best in show and you're listening,
you weren't.
You weren't.
So.
Oops. Sorry. Okay. Here we go. So Jason, can you give us some of the specifics, what we're doing to go forward?
Well, the first is, the first thing we want to do, and this is at the foundation, is to educate people on how to understand themselves and have self-knowledge, which is your essence.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be practical, fun, and simple. And did I say practical?
Yes.
Most of this stuff in this arena is kind of airy-fairy, crunchy granola.
And not practical.
It's not practical. We want to help you pay the mortgage, have a better relationship with your spouse, be a better parent, make more money.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't want you to, to have some sort of philosophical discussion all the time that doesn't really help you live in this life.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with entertainment. But we're not about entertainment. We want to help you. So part of that is, we're developing classes to learn about energy.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that we know is that because there's so much negative energy in your essence and in the world,
right,
you have to clear constantly, consistently, and specifically. So I'm really excited about what we've come up with. Patricia, tell us about the moves.
Okay. Well, I'll make it short and easy. It's clearing and doing movement at the same time,
yes,
and having fun doing it.
So when you're taking a shower, you'll find a move for the shower, for the
absolutely
for cooking.
And you know what? Let me just run this down. I clear constantly, consistently, and specifically. I clear when I'm washing dishes. I clear when I'm cooking. I love to cook, by the way. I clear when I'm exercising, absolutely. And I clear even for myself when I'm working with clients, because I can see that all of us are so connected to negative energy. Sometimes we don't know which end is up.
We're always doing two things at once. And if we had a hidden camera in our house, you'd see Patricia dancing around the house all day. She doesn't just walk down the hall. She bebops down the hall.
But you know what? First off, I'm never dull. And but in my past, I've always been able to do that, but I couldn't do it because I was so stuck in everybody else's judgment.
Which is a negative energy. I didn't use my intuition to see what I needed. What I see is that, this is what we're trying to do, is help people live in the 21st century in a way that applies to the 21st century. Most of the stuff about energy
comes from,
the 2 or 3 centuries ago,
exactly.
17th, 18th,
if not more.
It's not about the world we're in today.
Mm-hmm.
It's way back, and then they take that information and they try and interpret it.
Right.
But that's not the way to do it.
Because we didn't live then. Well, we don't know when we lived then, but we live today.
And so, whether it's feng shui or, all these different things, they're different today than they were back then.
And we're not saying they're bad. Understand that. But
exactly.
What we're saying is we have a more evolved program. Excuse that expression, but we have we're more evolved, so we can see what people need.
We can apply it to what's happening right now.
Exactly.
And we want to apply it for people that are living in the world, not people who are on a mountaintop in a commune someplace with no connection to the outside world. We want to help you if you're in a cubicle someplace, or in some corporate America, and it doesn't have to make you crazy,
or even a mom or dad.
Exactly. And we don't have anything that you have to do that makes you look weird. It's going to get you committed or arrested. None of that.
Well, that is questionable at times, but the bottom line is that Jason and I have a few things that are really important. And number one is clearing consistently, constantly, and specifically. But the other thing is we like to have fun. We like to laugh. And one of the things that the ecosystem approach does, it helps us laugh.
So here's some of the other things that we're going to be doing.
Okay.
Parenting is a big one.
Okay.
There's so much you can do with parenting that you have complete control over.
Right.
We're going to start doing a whole series on small business because one of the things that's missing in all the information about small business is that the success is about the energy.
Mm-hmm.
People think it's about your bottom line or your accounting.
Mm-hmm.
We also want to talk about a green personality.
Wait a minute. That doesn't mean I'm going to have, like leaves growing out of my ears, right?
No, green personality. It's not about recycling or that stuff, which is all important.
Exactly.
Living more sustainably. It's about having a personality,
right,
that's sustainable. Because it's funny, we have all these people that are doing these things for the environment, but their personality is not green. It's not organic to who they are. One of the other things we want to do is about likability. Negative energy doesn't make you likable. And if it's attached to you, clearing it away it creates such a big difference.
Exactly.
We want to help create a new batch of leaders for the 21st century. And those leaders are ones that are connected to their own essence.
Right.
So another thing we're going to do just briefly is channeling the planets. Help people use astrology in practical ways.
Right.
So, key points, you ready?
Jason, what are the key points of this segment?
Intuition can be developed and is a practical tool for everyday life.
Mm-hmm.
All the problems for you personally can be traced back to essence.
Say that one more time.
All your problems for you personally can be traced back to your essence.
Okay.
And
can be cleared.
Yes. And working with energy every day can feel amazing and literally change your life.
Yes.
And we want to accompany you on this amazing journey of life transformation. So
I love it, Jason.
Find out how to sign up for a newsletter in the next segment.
Oh, there you go. All right, Jason, let's tell everyone how to work with energy.
You don't have to be in a special posture. Just sit and use your mind's eye. So when we say and to eliminate, gather up all those things to eliminate, whether veils and illusions or negative emotions, blow them into a trash can, an actual trash can, or in your mind's eye, put the trash can there and blow them into that. It's that simple. Exhale, no big breaths.
And then the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to activate life force energy, the most powerful energy ever. And what we're going to do is we're going to call upon it. We're going to ask it to come in right through the top of our heads, go all the way down our bodies, down our arms, and then our legs. And I always ask it to stop at the tips of my toes. I turn it around so that when I'm blowing out, meaning I take a breath in and then blow the breath out. When I'm doing that, what I'm asking life force energy to do is to help clean my physical, mental, and emotional body up. And then we move on to the next one. So stay tuned. When we come back, we're going to help you start clearing so you can have a better life right now. This is Living Lighter with Jason and Patricia with an ecosystem approach to your life. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.
Tune in to Lucid Planet Radio with Dr. Kelly Neff. This hit show will illuminate your senses and empower you beyond your daily stressors and hardships. Renowned psychologist and author Dr. Kelly will captivate you with far-reaching topics and amazing guests as you wake to the greatest version of yourself. Learn to tap into your intuitions, think critically about our world, heal emotional and psychological wounds, and follow your passions to live your dreams. The Lucid Planet. Welcome home. Visit lucidplanetradio.com for more information.
Tune in to The Jen Royster Show, intuitive guidance to inspire your life, each Thursday at 8 a.m. Pacific and 11 a.m. Eastern on TransformationTalkRadio.com. This amazing show is an inspirational hour that will take you on an epic metaphysical journey to discover the spiritual approach to life's greatest challenges. Dr. Jen is an internationally known intuitive counselor, spiritual teacher, and energy healer. Call in for intuitive readings and visit JenRoyster.com for more information.
Do you want the knowledge and wisdom to understand where spirituality, science, and psychology intersect? Then join the Karmic Path Radio Show with Tina and Laura on TransformationTalkRadio.com Thursdays at 4 p.m. Pacific. Follow this charmingly, disarmingly dynamic duo as they explore how psychic ability, spirituality, and karmic law tie together. For more information on Tina, Laura, and their groundbreaking work, visit thekarmicpath.com.
Celebrating 40 years of peace through music. Dr. Pat Basili is thrilled to be partnering with Dudley and Dean Evanson, co-founders of Soundings of the Planet. Music and video created for peace and healing. Immerse yourself in benefits of music for meditation, relaxation, and stress reduction. This peaceful and meditative form of music is available for free on all streaming services. Search Dean Evanson on Spotify, Pandora, Amazon, and iTunes, or visit soundings.com for more information.
Are you ready to finally feel empowered and knowledgeable in your political stance? Let Marcia Padilla-Goad educate you on exactly how important grassroots advocacy is in a relatable way to all parties and all perspectives. Tune in to Grassroots Advocacy Radio with Marcia every first Tuesday of the month at 12 p.m. Pacific and 3 p.m. Eastern on TransformationTalkRadio.com. For more, visit DynamicsInPublicAffairs.com.
This is Living Lighter Radio with Jason, and I'm Patricia. We're going to help you get started clearing your essence right now. Jason, take it away.
Here we go. I direct all my resources in all dimensions to eliminate any impatience I have to achieve my goals and my need to take shortcut with programming and not working at the level of my essence. Take a breath. And to eliminate any black and white thinking that says I either have to do programming or clearing, but not both. When the truth is I can do both. Take a breath.
And to eliminate any barriers so I can begin to see me authentically, and any objectives that might need or that do come from my essence. In other words, it's a way to talk to yourself. Take a nice breath.
And to eliminate the shame and guilt and unworthiness that interferes with my essence. It's just negative energy. Just gather that all up from the tips of your toes and blow it into the trash can.
And to eliminate the anger, the bitterness, resentment, that is dark energy that is attached to my essence, that's keeping me from having clarity about me. Breathe. And I know we've done this next one more than once, but let's do this one again. And to eliminate all my fear that I'm not going to like my essence once I connect with it. And I want you to know that is nothing if not a complete lie. That is dark energy standing in your way. Take a nice breath. Blow it out.
And to eliminate the fears, worries, and anxieties I have every day that compromise my essence. That's just negative energy. Mm-hmm. Gather it all up and blow it into the trash can.
And to eliminate any hopelessness that I'll ever be able to do all of this that they're talking about, that Jason and Patricia are talking about. I release and let go any unworthiness that keeps me stuck in hopelessness about all of this, about going forward, about actually connecting with my essence. Take a breath.
And to eliminate my overwhelm of having to do one more thing, when the truth is the overwhelm comes from programming.
Right.
And clearing is the anti-overwhelm. Take a breath.
You know, that one always makes me yawn. And by the way, I have clients ask me, why is it when I work with you that I yawn? Well, it's because you're getting rid of huge amounts of negative energy, and it comes in the form of a yawn. It's not bad. It's actually very good because it makes you stop and be with you when you do that. So, and to eliminate the stress and anxiety about my daily life, that is negative energy in my life, breathe. You don't need it.
And to eliminate any obsessiveness, fears, and anxieties I have that needs to be cleared right now. Take a breath, gather it all up, blow it out.
You know, I'm going to do a little bit of a tell here. And after all this clearing that I've done, I finally discovered that I have these massive amounts of anxiety. And since I've been clearing it, one of the things that's happened is I'm being more positively productive. It's really amazing. So everyone take a nice breath. Blow out any anxiety. Your love and addiction to anxiety, blow it out.
Should we activate life force?
Okay. I direct all my resources in all dimensions to activate life force energy so I can use life force energy for all that I need, want, desire, and deserve now and in my future. Take a nice breath. Pull it in, that positive life force energy right through the top of your head, down your arms, down your torso, down to the tips of your toes. Stop it, turn around, blow out any negative energy, and let life force energy help you. And activate life force so I can respect my essence as a source of the creation of the best of my life and who I am. Take a nice breath, pull it in, top of your head. Blow it out.
And to activate life force so I can know that working with my essence is the best guide for me. Take a breath.
Well, I got another one on those lines, so blow it out. And activate life force so I can trust my essence to be the best life outcomes for me. Take a breath. And activate life force so I can be happy and healthy and creative and peaceful and in great health and know what and who is in my highest and best interest at any given moment. Wow, that's pretty cool. In through the top of your head, tips of your toes. Now blow out any negative energy that's left over. So, Jason, what are we going to talk about next week?
Freedom. Now, I know that's kind of usually we try and find really practical topics, but this is going to be practical because the biggest misconception is that it's political. If we live in a free society, then we're free, right?
Yeah, well, okay.
You know, based on what we see, it's not true. People are prisoners to their own thoughts and even to other people.
Oh, by all means.
And we're going to start talking about that.
Okay.
You know, there's so many people that are prisoners to others that isn't as we were designed.
I love that. And by the way, this is a show you do not want to miss because I guarantee you, no matter who you are or where you are and you're listening to this show, you will find some information for you that is quite valuable.
Quite practical for your daily life.
Yes, very much so. So, if some parts of you gets the importance of clearing your essence with the ecosystem approach, mark your calendar. Living Lighter Radio is every week, Monday at 1 p.m. Pacific and 4 p.m. Eastern. If you can't listen at that time, our show is recorded, and you can go to our website, www.livinglighter.org, and look for the radio tab.
You know, one of the things that if you want to start clearing constantly, consistently, and specifically, like we talked about, the best way to do that is sign up for our newsletter. When you do that, we have clearings written out for you every single week.
Right.
A lot of people put them on their phone, and then when they they clear, they just on a daily basis.
You think they'll ever write them on the bathroom wall?
I hope not, but you can use it while you're going to work, on your way to the bathroom. You can do it.
Exactly.
When you should be doing, when you can't do anything else and you just have your phone there and you just, people are always on their phone anyways. The best thing you do is clear while you're on your phone.
Okay.
So the way you do that is go to our website at www.livinglighter.org and go to the newsletter tab.
Okay.
All we ask for is your name and email address. It's free. It connects you with us. Make a decision today to have a better life. And the first step you can do is by signing up for our newsletter. It's the best first step you could possibly have.
Because you're going to clear constantly, consistently, and specifically with the clearings that are there.
Right. And we always love to hear your comments. If you want to send us an email, you can do that at Jason and Patricia, JasonandPatricia @livinglighter.org. Send us a note if this has worked for you. If you're a junkie already, in terms of our show,
thank you very much.
Let us know.
Okay. We'll connect next week, Monday at 1 p.m. Pacific and 4 p.m. Eastern Time. This is Transformation Talk Radio. You're listening to Living Lighter Radio with Jason and Patricia.
Wishing you a lifetime of living lighter.
Thank you for listening to Living Lighter Radio with Jason and Patricia. I'm Patricia. We have an ecosystem approach to your life. Tune in weekly as we discuss what's truly holding you back. We offer you the tools you need to reach your goals and at the same time be living lighter. For more information, visit our website at www.livinglighter.org.